So here's my chainsaw bike, and it's not just like regular chainsaw bikes with only one gear. This has all 7 gears, and all of them do work. I have the shifter right up here, and you can control what gear it is. So I'm going to show you how I made this. Well, all you need is a regular bike and a chainsaw. Now what you do with the clutch is you have to grind it out a bit, because the clutch doesn't really fit the bike chain from your bicycle, because it's meant for the chain of a chainsaw. So let me show you what I did. So here's one of my old clutches. You can see how I ground it down so it fit a bike chain on it. And then this one was just junk, so I threw this one out. But it just shows you how you can just grind them out, make them fit just a regular number 35 chain. So those work pretty slick. Now what you need to do is find the right gear ratio. With these big tires, you want a nice gear ratio. So you at least want maybe like 14, 15 to 1. Now how you get the gear ratio is, it's easy. You take the diameter of the clutch, that's only about 1 inch from side to side, diameter. And then take your next gear and measure that diameter. So this, 1 to 7, so that's a 1 to 7 gear ratio. Then you multiply it to the next gear, which is about 2 inches, to the one in the back, which is 4. So you got 2 to 4, that's 1 to 2. So 2 times 7 is 14. So that's what my gear ratio is, 1 to 14. So that's a good enough gear ratio. It'll get you going. And then once you get up to speed, since I have these different gears, once you top out, you shift like a regular dirt bike or 4-wheeler. Then you shift down, shift down, shift down, shift down, until you're in 7th gear, and then you're flying. So the gear ratio isn't that difficult at all. So you need to go from a small sprocket to a big sprocket, put it on some kind of shaft system. I just got a jack shaft from a junkyard. And then put a small gear on the other side, and run it to a big gear. It's not hard at all. You just have to learn the gear ratio, and gear ratio is completely easy. Now we're on gas lines. You don't have to run anything. You can just use the regular gas tank, or if you want to go on longer trips, buy a bigger gas tank and run the fuel line to that gas tank instead. Now you're on your throttle system. Here's mine. There's my throttle system. All I did, took the brake line, ran it down, figured out what one was the right line, came up, went here, and then I just screwed around with the plastic, put a little screw in there. Brake line goes through the screw, it pinches on this little piece of steel, and then I connected that little piece of metal that actually comes with your chainsaw. So all I did was snip it to the right length and then pinch it with this piece of steel. So you got your throttle system and everything, you got your gear ratio. Now it's time to weld. Now you really need a welder. On these systems you want a MIG welder or a TIG welder, because arc welding, trust me, it's too damn hot. So all you need is some lawnmower blades. That's what I used. And I used a piece of steel right here, and I guided freaking socket. And then I guided it with this eye screw, the chain into the clutch. More framework. So this jack shaft will come right out. Just 2 bolts on that side and 1 bolt on this side. And that'll come right out. And need footrests. Of course not the same length. Some good anchor points for framework is where the bar goes. So get a piece of steel, drill a hole through it, and that's where the bar goes, right there. Then you can come under here, and there's 2 screws that go right up in here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. There's the 2 right there. So after getting your sprockets, your throttle system, your framework all set, you're ready to go. So, hope it goes as good as it does for some people. We'll see it.